Greetings, everybody. Greetings and welcome to the Soul Awakening Sanctuary Movement. Welcome to our live stream today. We are live every Monday through Friday at 12 noon. So, welcome aboard. Welcome, one and all. We're so happy to have you on today. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend and you're ready to start fresh this week, that you're ready to move into your divine empowerment. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Peace and divine power and light to all, beloved. We welcome you into the sacred space of remembrance. You didn't scroll here by accident. I want you to know that today. Your soul brought you here. And you into a space of wisdom, a space of elevation and truth. Not just inspiration, but activation. Today we are activating our divine power, activating our true self, moving away from the illusions of life and moving into the truth of who we truly are and what we've truly been created to be in this earth. So I want you to take a moment to breathe in deeply and align with the divine within. Because remember that God is not a sky daddy, someone on the sky with a big white beard looking down on you. But the divine is God within you. The source, the impetus source, the creator of all things, energy is within you. And honor that presence of the divine in you as we prepare to go into our session for today. Again, greetings, everybody, as you come in the room. Welcome, 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 welcome. I want to give you this affirmation as we begin today on this 555. Today is May, the 5th month of the Gregorian calendar, and it is the 5th month, and today is the 5th day of the 5th month, and this is 2025, so 555. So we are walking in a spirit of grace. We're walking in an energy of gratitude, walking into an energy of shifting, a shifting of consciousness, or an awakening, a movement of spirit upon us all, moving us into our authentic self, moving us out of the background into the forefront. And so we are so excited about this 5th day of the 5th month in this year of 2025. Threefold, 555. We are here not just to exist, but we are here to thrive into our true purpose. Aren't you excited about that? So let me give an affirmation today. Repeat after me. I am walking in truth. I am walking in truth. I am walking in truth. Say that with me. I am walking in truth. I am guided by my divine order. I'm walking in divine truth. I'm guided by my divine order. I am guided by divine order. I am light. I am balanced. I am free. I am light. I am balanced. I am free. Amen and Ashe. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. I am walking in truth. I am guided by divine order. I am light. I am balance. I am free. I am the ancestor. I am my ancestors, and my ancestors are me. I am the answered prayer of my ancestor. I am love. I am joy. I am peace. Today is a new beginning and a life of victory for me. Today I walk through the portal of 555, walking into divine alignment. I walk in divine alignment. I fulfill my highest values. Ashe. Yah, welcome. I'm so glad it's blessing you. Welcome, 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 everybody. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. Greetings, my beloved eccentric one, my divine, beautiful sister. Welcome to all. Those are on YouTube, those are on TikTok. Welcome. We're so happy to have you here today. So let this vibration carry you into this teaching today. And so peace to everyone joining us. You can say hello in the comment section if you feel led. But know that your presence alone here is sacred and so much appreciated. Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the gifts. This is a space where we claim what was hidden from us, not out of rebellion, but out of remembrance. We're taking everything out of the equation and we are wanting to come back to who we truly are because it is our divine birthright. And so today, I invite you to like, share, repost, comment, share to at least 10 or 11 people. If you got at least 12 followers, 20 followers, share this to at least 10 or 11 people. Help us out so we can push this live broadcast. Thank you so very much for sharing. We appreciate you for all that you do. And we love you so much for supporting and participating and engaging with us today. And if you have to leave early during the live, if you want to catch the replay, you can go over to YouTube. We stream live both simultaneously. So you can go there and catch us. For whatever reason, when we begin teaching on TikTok, they send a restriction on us. So you helping us push out this live by liking it, by commenting, and by sharing helps us greatly. We appreciate you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Today we're returning to the foundational spiritual codes of our ancestors, the 42 laws of Ma'at, the divine principles of truth, justice, reciprocity, and balance. And these laws we've been teaching on for the past week. We have been tackling the 42 laws of Ma'at. We did the first 10 and then we moved into, on part 1, we did the first 10 and then the part 2 we did, I think it was 11 through 22 or something like that. So we are on part 3 today. And I want to remind each and every one of you that these aren't just ancient words written on a temple walls. These laws, also called not only the 42 laws of Ma'at, it's also called the 42 negative confessions, but what I like most to call them as the 42 declarations of innocence. When you're innocent, you can declare this without a doubt, without any hesitation, because you know that you've lived by this moral compass and code, and you can affirm your innocence every day. And if you have fell short of your own divine divinity and living to your highest ideals, these 42 laws, you can always find room to improve and how you can integrate these divine principles into your life so it can impact you in ways that no 10 commandments could ever. And so these divine declarations, principles are blueprints. It's a blueprint of our soul alignment. This is how we get our soul intact. By these divine principles, it's how we follow back into the path of our ancestors to get our mind back, to get our soul back, to get our spirit back, to get our self into alignment out of the colonial indoctrination and dogma, and getting ourselves back to who we truly are, an ethical people. We didn't need a book to tell us, as our ancestors, and truly even today, we didn't need a book to tell us how to live in harmony with the divine, because we lived in harmony with nature, with creation, with the universe, with plants, with animals, with our neighbors, our community. We lived in harmony. We had no vocabulary for the word sin. In our ancient culture, we had no vocabulary for the word sin. That was introduced to us by the colonizers. And that sin consciousness is so stuck now in us that all we worry about is sin, sin, sin. This is a sin, that's a sin, this is a sin, that's a sin. Where half the time, nowhere in the book you call the Bible, what you call the Word of God, is it listed anywhere as a sin. Nowhere. People say smoking is a sin. Nowhere is it said in the Bible. They say drinking is a sin. Nowhere is it said in the Bible. I mean, come on. The one you call Jesus turned water into wine. I mean, what more do you need? Noah got drunk according to the biblical character, the narrative. What more do you need? So let's put away the false pretenses. Put away these ideologies that have held us in bondage. And let's wake up to the truth. Because many times, let me say this. Thank you, dear. Eccentric one said, I gotta tell you how beautiful you look in black. Thank you so very much. I love black. It's one of my favorite colors. Yes, honey. And I said, let me let my hair down and, put on this black here for the peoples today. So we love you. Thank you so much. And so let me say this. In this circle, I heard a great master teacher, a blessed memory, say, in this circle is the circumference of our knowledge and our understanding of what we know. And everything in this circle that we know, aware of, conscious of, understand, we must understand that there's more to know than what we know, because this circle represents what we know. And there's so much more outside of that to know about what we think we know. So we always have to remain willing to open our ears and understanding. That's why one thing I just never understand about religious folks is that they want people to be open to hear what they believe, their doctrine and dogma, but they're not willing to listen to the rebuttal. They're not willing to listen to someone else's belief system that is opposed to theirs. You want to tell people about what you believe, well, then allow people to tell you about what they believe. So you should be able to listen to somebody whose belief system is opposite of yours. Why? Why should you be able to do that? Because if your faith is so strong, your belief system is so strong, nothing should be able to deter you. But most people won't. Why? Because they've been brainwashed and they're scared deep down inside that if I just listen to an opposing opinion, that I might be persuaded to question the validity of whatever I've been taught so far. Because who wants to believe that what I have been taught from a child, for the majority of it, if not all, has been a lie? Yes, our parents were well-intended, but they taught us what they believed was right. They taught us what their parents taught them or their grandparents taught them. And all the way back. But when you go all the way back to the end of where they got it from the black preacher on the slave plantation. And where did he get it from? The white preacher and his master. And here we are today. And many people don't. A lot of people all say, oh, why are you always going back to that? Because if we really look at where we are today and where we will come from, we ain't that far off. There are people alive today that were sharecropping. And their parents were enslaved here in America. So let's not think that what we're talking about is so far off. No, we need to go back to understand the history, our records of the past. How did we get here? To link that thread on why we're still doing what we're doing, why we're still practicing the same things we practice. We know as a collective it's not working. Yet, we still do it because we don't want to face the truth and say goodbye to the thing that has enslaved us, that has not helped us, but has been a hindrance to us. Anything you believe in and practice that does not empower you to be your highest self, anything that causes you to doubt your self-worth, your own inherent divinity, you need to say goodbye to it. You need to rethink participating in anything that causes self-hate, anything that causes you to feel less than, anything that causes you to question your own judgment. You need to say goodbye. You need to re-question, reevaluate. Why am I participating in my own destruction? Think about that. Why am I participating in my own destruction? Half the time, many of our people that are attending these congregations, these churches, these houses of worship, don't have, they're not wealthy, number one. They're not well off, as our elders used to say. But yet they're giving their money. They're giving their time. They're really slaving in the name of God to an ideal, to a building. That a lot of times when they leave the building, the house of worship, they feel more depleted, worn out, worthless than they did when they walked in. Think about it. The people in the community almost gossiping, talking about you, have something to say about what you're doing and always poking their nose in your business. Honey, why are you participating in your own destruction? Because the divine do not live in a building. The divine Spirit does not live in a building. It does not live in a church house, a temple, at a shrine. The divine presence lives within us. We are the temple. You're the shrine. You're the altar. And we are what the divine is. We are the epitome of the divine consciousness that created the universe. So don't participate in your destruction. Let's reevaluate any and everything we are part of and see if it adds value to our life. Evaluate, let me say this, on 555, on the 5th month of the Gregorian calendar, on the 5th day of the 5th month in the year 5 to 2025. In this portal, as we walk into this shifting, this divine soul alignment to bring us closer into our divine destiny. Let me say this. Reevaluate all of your relationships, every organization you're part of, every group you're part of, and see if it's adding value to your life and if it's an exchange or if it's one-sided. Does it help you? Does it speak to where you are in this part of your life? Or it may have helped in that part of your life, but is it fit in where you're trying to go? Where your soul is leading you? These are things to ask ourselves. And these ancient divine principles that we're talking about, called 42 Laws of Ma'at, not only are they the blueprint of soul realignment, they came long before the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, thy whole soul, mind. All of this. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor. Those 10 is a repackaged, rebrand, stolen even, from the 42 Laws of Ma'at. Repackaged, rebranded, stripped of its Africanness, stripped of the divine mother, and given back to the world as it was divinely originated. This teaching is about, it isn't about religious dogma. It isn't trying to tear down what people believe in, or the church even. It's about divine order. It's about remembering that our ancestors walked in truth before they were told what truth is according to the colonizer and what truth should be. We were already walking in spirituality. We were already walking in our divineness. And so these laws we are going over and teaching and remembering is about bringing ourselves back to our original form, bringing ourselves back, our soul back home, piercing the fog, coming out of the indoctrination and dogma, for being hoodwinked, for being brainwashed, to leave what is meant to benefit you, to attach ourselves to something else that's meant to cage us. Wow. So I encourage you to pass this message along. As you come in the room, please tap the screen. Share this live with at least 10, 11 people. Repost, reshare, tag a neighbor, tag a friend. Let somebody know that we are here. And if something resonates with your spirit as I teach, you're welcome to drop a comment or just quietly receive what Spirit has for you. You're also free to pass this message forward if it helps someone else to rise. And I want you just to know this, that you are awakening And your awakening is enough. Your presence here matters, and you are walking today in divine alignment simply because you're remembering who you are. Always remember the full length, in depth teachings and our revelations are on, always streams simultaneously on YouTube, so you can always go there to watch the replay. You can find it under Chief Apostle Veronica Yisrael on YouTube, where we dive deeper uninterrupted. And if you're looking for more than a live stream, if you're looking for a spiritual home, a spiritual community, to anchor yourself, to expand your consciousness, and to connect with like-minded people in truth, power, and purpose. In our spiritual community, it is where truth, power, and purpose meet. And if what we teach resonates with you, consider joining the Soul Awakening Sanctuary Movement. This is a global spiritual community that we are building every single day for those who are done with fear-based religion and teachings and are ready to walk in divine freedom into this sacred, in their sacredness. They're ready to walk and awaken. If that's you, welcome home. Reach out to us today and we can tell you what you need to do to become a full-fledged community member. So let's begin today and let's walk through this third part of these ancient laws together. Not as a checklist. We're not talking and teaching these laws as a checklist to check off. But it's to use the 42 laws of Ma'at, the 42 negative confession, the 42 declaration of innocence is for a mirror. It's a mirror to look at yourself and see where you are in your consciousness. Where are you lining up? Where is your soul in alignment with your highest idea? Or is it out of alignment? And it shows you where you need to come into alignment and what area you need to shift, to pivot, to come into alignment. Isn't that all right? See, Ma'at is not about perfection. The church teaches perfection. But Ma'at is not about perfection. It's about alignment. And that's what we are bringing forth today. Bringing you back into divine alignment. So, let's see here. Where are we? Where? Let's get to the third section because we did the first. Let's just review right quickly. On part 1, we dealt with the first 10, which is I have not committed sin against myself, my community, or the universe. 2, I have not committed robbery with violence. 3, I have not stolen. 4, I have not slain men or women. 5, I have not stolen food. 6, I have not swindled offerings. 7, I have not stolen from the god or goddesses. 8, I have not told lies. 9, I have not carried away food. 10, I have not cursed. Not profanity, but out of the energy and intent of your words. Then on section 2, part 2, we dealt with 11 through 21, which we'll review right quickly. 11 is I have not closed my ears to truth. Number 12, I have not committed adultery. Number 13, I have not made anyone cry. Think about that. You don't find that in the 10 Commandments. I have not made anyone cry. How powerful is that? That you're trying to bring yourself into alignment so much to the fact that you are conscious. That I have to work on that more and more, trying to bring myself. That I don't cause pain by my words to someone else. That I don't cause anyone to cry on purpose. Number 14, I have not felt sorrow without reason. I don't have pity parties. 14. Oh, yes, I have not felt sorrow without reason. 15. I have not assaulted anyone. 16. I am not deceitful. 17. I have not stolen anyone's land. 18. I have not been an eavesdropper. Honey, these nosy Christians can't affirm that, honey, because they listening to everything that's moving. They don't want to hear nothing that's good. They always want to hear the bad, the worst about someone. 19, I have not falsely accused anyone. 20, I have not been angry without reason. 21, I have not seduced anyone's spouse. Wow. Powerful. So now we're moving into part 3, which we'll deal with today. Starting with Law 22. I have not polluted myself. I have not polluted myself. I have not polluted myself. What does that mean, Chief? This is about what you consume. What you consume mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. What are you feeding your soul? That's the question. That's what this affirmation, this law is dealing with. I have not polluted my soul. What am I feeding my soul? What am I feeding my spirit? What am I feeding my consciousness? Am I feeding my mental with garbage? Are the thoughts I entertain negative? Are the thoughts I entertain contrary to my highest values? Spiritually, what am I feeding my spirit, my soul? Is it stuff that uplifts? Is it things that help me evolve into who I am wanting to become? Emotionally, what am I feeding my soul? Am I surrounding myself with people who pour into me as I pour into them? Physically, what are you putting in your body? Are you putting things in your body that will harm you, that will pollute your body? Toxins. A lot of times we just deal with the physical, the spiritual, mental, emotional. But what about the physical? What are we doing to preserve our temple? What are you doing to preserve your temple? What are you putting in this physical temple that will pollute it, that will harm it, that will cause damage to it? You've been given this temple to house your soul and your spirit, the divine, in it. So you got to take care of it. Honey, I was one, and anybody know me, I love some Pepsi. I love Pepsi. But for a complete month, I have not had, it's a little over a month. I have not had one carbonated drink. No sodas, no anything. For one reason, I had surgery, so, I can't have the soda. But I did it because I'm like, you know what? You're beautiful plus size. But that ain't taking care of this temple like you should be. So I had to eliminate some things. Take some things off my plate. Not only physically, but spiritually, emotional, mentally. We have to learn to take things off our plate that does not serve us in the capacity in which we need it. We have to stop being afraid to part ways with people, things, situations, relationships, contracts, whatever, organizations that no longer serves our purpose. We have to learn to get rid of the baggage. Stop carrying it along with you. Defending your trauma and your baggage as if it's a badge of honor. It's not. It's just an unfortunate thing that we've had to go through. But it's all can be used for our betterment, for our learning, for our knowledge, for our future. So say this affirmation with me, because after each law that we deal with, I'm giving you affirmation to help make these principles, the divine principles, get seeped down into your subconscious mind. Because your subconscious mind is what rules you majority of the time. The way you act, think, talk, move, assess things, your perception, worldview, all comes from your subconscious mind. And a little from your conscious mind. We act just on impulse. Why? Because it's in our subconscious mind. So in order to reset that, we have to reset it with rewiring our mind, shifting our consciousness, shifting our paradigm, rewiring our hardwire internally with statements of truth, affirmations of truth, replacing the lies and the falsehood with truth, the divine truth about ourselves. So repeat after me. I nourish my body, my mind, and spirit with purity and light. Come on, say that with me. I nourish my mind, body, and spirit with purity and light. I nourish my body, my mind, my soul, and spirit with purity and light. Amen and Ashe. So remember to nourish your body. Not with things that does not uplift you, but things that are pushing you into your evolvement, pushing you into evolving into your highest self. So let's go to number 23, the 42 laws of Ma'at and the 23rd law in succession. It says, I have not terrorized anyone. Ooh! I have not terrorized anyone. Isn't that powerful? This applies to the abuse of power. How many people do you know that abuse power? Rather spiritual power. They abuse their power on the job, their power as a leader, a lay leader, a spiritual leader, a manager on the job, a team leader, the supervisor of the division, the department. People that abuse their power. Parents, community leaders. I have not terrorized anyone. Law 23, it is talking about the abuse of power. Because when people abuse power, they are a tyranny to others. They terrorize other people's lives. Because when people who don't know what true power is and the purpose of it, and they have a solid foundation in humility and love, respect for humankind, all of that, respect for nature, respect for the world, the universe, respect for their self and the divine within them. When people are not rooted in that and power is given to them, they get reckless and become a dictator and a tyranny. They become a terror. We're seeing this today as we live. So this abuse of power, whether through fear, whether it's through intimidation, whether it's through manipulation or control, we have to be careful about abusing our power, abusing our authority. Do not abuse the power that's given to you. When people trust you, when people look up to you, they give you power. When you have the power of influence over people, make sure you don't abuse it. Make sure you don't abuse that power, that authority you have in someone's life. You're supposed to use it for their upliftment, for their empowerment, not for their detriment. Think about it. That's the purpose. That is the purpose of power. It is not to abuse it, to take it lightly. So we have to make sure that we can say, I have not terrorized anyone. Meaning, I have not abused my power and my authority. I haven't done it through fear. I haven't used fear tactics to control people. I haven't intimidated people so they do what I want them to do. I have not manipulated people into coming my way. I haven't used tactics of control to cause people to do whatever to bend them to my will. See, these are the things that we have to think about. These are the things that we have to look at. Are we abusing our divine power? Are you abusing your divine gifts? Let's think about that right quick. Are you abusing your divine gifts? The gifts that you've been given from the divine, are you abusing it? Or are you using it to uplift and to help humanity? Think about it. Only you can answer that. Because remember, these 42 laws of Ma'at is not about judgment. It's not about perfection. It's about a mirror. Looking at the mirror. What did Michael Jackson say? I'm looking at the man, the woman, the individual in the mirror. And I'm asking him, her, they, them to change their ways. Because remember, you can't change anybody else. Everybody else have to make the change for themselves. You cannot change anyone. You cannot change it. As the elders used to say growing up, the mama done changed the diaper, and nothing you can do. People are who they are. And it's up for us to change. Many times we want to change our partners, if we're honest. We want to change our children. We want to change our friends. We want to change. If we could just open their head up and put our thoughts in there, or we could just get them to do what we think and what we say. But it's not about that. It's about changing ourselves. To make sure we're not a dictator. To make sure we're not terrorizing people in our community. We're not terrorizing our loved ones through fear, intimidation, manipulation, or control. So say this affirmation with me. I lead with love. Come on, say that with me. I lead with love. I inspire peace and courage in others. Come on, let's say that again. I lead with love. I inspire peace and courage in others. One more time. I lead with love. I inspire peace and courage in others. So make sure, remember, you are a leader. If nothing but a leader of yourself, a leader of your home, of your family, of your children, a leader in your community. People look up to you, whether on your job, wherever. And make sure in your leadership, even if it's of yourself, that you are a good steward of what has been entrusted into you, into your hands. Make sure you lead with love, not hate, not manipulation, not control, not intimidation, not fear. Lead with love. Lead with compassion. Ooh, a little light went out on me. Lead with love. Lead with compassion. All right, there we go again. Make sure you're leading with love and compassion. And make sure your aim and goal is to inspire others with peace. Make sure you're trying to inspire others, to encourage others. You as a leader should be trying to bring out the best in people, not the worst. I'm going to say it again. Your aim as a leader should be to bring out the best in your pupils, your students, and your team, and your loved ones, your partner, your children, your community members. Bring out the best out of them, not the worst. Show them that they too can be great. Because remember, as I always love to talk about Yeshua, Ben Yosef, commonly called Jesus, he loved to show us that, honey, not only can I do it, you can do it too, because you have the same power in you. You have the same power in you to do it, to get the job done. The question is, do you believe it? Do you believe in yourself? Ask yourself that question today. Do I believe in myself? A lot of times other people believe in us, and that gives us courage to do some things. But the question is, do you believe in yourself? Because if you don't believe in yourself, you cannot inspire someone else to believe in themselves or to believe in you. You have to lead with love and with confidence, not just with an iron fist, because that becomes a dictator. And nobody loves a dictator. So let's think about that. So let's move to Law 24. We're dealing with the 42 laws of Ma'at, 42 negative confession, or as I like to call them, the 42 declarations of innocence. These are divine principles, divine laws, divine spiritual compass, a moral guide to help us as a mirror to bring us back into soul alignment. So, number 24 says, I have not disobeyed the law. Wow, think about it. I have not disobeyed the law. How many times can we say that? Every day. I have not disobeyed the law. Now remember, this isn't talking about man-made laws. It's not talking about how you went through a 30 speed limit area, zone, and you went 35 or 40. It's not talking about a man-made law, but it's talking about divine law. Have I disobeyed divine law? Because you may break man's law and get away with it. You might. It has happened. People have broken the laws of the land and yet got away with it. History bears record of that. They've been lawless people, a law unto themselves. But when it comes to divine law, I don't care what you try to do. I don't care how you try to spin it. When you break divine law, there's no way of getting around that. The consequences, whether good or bad. You will pay and reap whatever you sow. That verse of sacred scripture, that whatsoever a man sows, non-gender specific, that shall he also reap. That's just not talking about bad things or good things. It's talking about everything. You will reap what you sow. Whatever you do, you're going to reap it. The law of compensation. That the universe will compensate you for everything you do. The universe will compensate you for everything you do. Never think that you can do something to someone or anything and there's no repercussions. See, man law you can evade. Divine law, universal law is immutable. It's unchanging. You cannot get around the universal law. So, this 24th law and the 40th laws of Ma'at, I have not disobeyed the law. Not man law, but divine law. Universal order, cosmic justice. Have I disobeyed? Greetings, Jay the Pro. Jay the Professor, welcome. So happy to see you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for sharing. Have we disobeyed and gone against universal law? That's the question. Are we living in a divine alignment with the universal law? Universal order? Cosmic justice? Are we trying to bring about peace in the earth or confusion? Are we worried about our neighbors, our community, about the world? Are we worried about just my four and no more? Because you know what's funny? It was not really funny, but I said this, I used to have a radio broadcast for years back home. And I said this one time on the radio because it was an incident in various communities where I pastored. And I saw how when tragedy would happen in a community, would ask the people if they know anything, to reach out, to say something. And mum was the word. Mum, nothing. Nobody said anything. Everyone sealed lips. You've heard that saying, loose lips sink ships. I'm sure you've heard the colloquial phrase that snitches get stitches. And so people are quiet. They won't say anything. Oh, but when it finds them, when it comes down, when these things, tragedies comes down their road, when it knocks at their door, then they want to post posters everywhere, ask people to help, rally around, support, give information if they have it, oh, this and that. And you know what I said on the radio? I said, shame on you. Shame on you, because when the same thing happened in the community with other people, you turned a deaf ear. You looked the other way. You did not stand up for what was right. You upheld the status quo. You didn't follow universal law and cosmic justice. You went against universal law. And you closed your eyes and you turned your head and ignored the pain of others. And now tragedy and calamity have come to your house. Now you all of a sudden want everybody else to drop what they're doing and support you. It don't work like that, baby. Is it a tragedy? Yes. Sorry that it happened? Yes. Is it unfortunate? Yes. But guess what? Many times we bring things upon ourselves. And so it should cause us to be more careful on how we handle people. It should cause us to be more caring. It should cause us to be more loving. It should cause us to be more conscious of what we say and do. So repeat this affirmation with me. I walk in harmony with divine principles. Come on, say that with me. I walk in harmony with divine principles. Come on, one more time. I walk in harmony with divine principles. Meaning I'm not trying to go against it. I'm not trying to beat the system, because you can beat man's system. You can't beat the divine source. You cannot beat universal law. So I walk in harmony with the divine law. Amen and Ashe. One thing about the divine law is that the divine law is a wall. The divine law is a wall. Law, you can switch law for wall. And every time you go against it, guess what happens when you hit a wall? Bounce back. You hit your head. You hit yourself. And you get bruised. Why? Because you got to work in conjunction. You got to go along with. You got to work in harmony with the divine law, not against it. So let's go to 25. 42 laws of Ma'at, number 25. I have not been exclusively angry. I have not been exclusively angry. Woo! Now this speaks to those who have anger management issues. Let me tell you something. A lot of people, more than they care to admit, have anger issues. Not only people have trust issues, they have anger issues that have been undealt with. It's not been controlled, it's not been managed, it's not been nothing. One thing about anger, this unchecked anger, one thing about rage that's unchecked, it can blind you. And it could cause you to make irreparable decisions. Irreparable decisions. Reckless decisions. Harmful decisions. To those you love, those you don't even know. So it's important. Plus to put our anger and our rage in check. Then say you can't get angry. One verse of the Greek scriptures, commonly called the New Testament, said, "Be angry, but sin not. Remember, I'm a metaphysical teacher. So when we look at the Bible, we'll quote sacred texts. We're not looking at it from a literal sense. When we talk about sin, we're not talking about indoctrination and church dogma of sin. Sinning against yourself, sinning against your community, sin against the universe. Doing things that goes against universal law and cosmic justice and universal order. Doing things to harm another. So you can be angry, but make sure you keep yourself in check, that you're not doing something that's against universal law. You're not taking it too far. You don't allow your anger and your rage to take you out of character. No one should have that power over you. Nothing should have that power over you. And if it does, that means there's some work you need to do. There's some shallow work. There's some inner work that you need to work on, to accomplish, to bring yourself into divine alignment. So I have not been exclusively anger. This speaks to the question, have you allowed anger to define your identity, your choices, and your relationships? Have you allowed anger to influence and define your identity, your choices, and your relationships? See, if we're not careful, anger will rule us. We become angry at the world. Maybe because our mother or father left us, they weren't there. They were absentee parent or whatever. Or we never had our grandparents. Nobody to come to Grandparents' Day. No one to be there when we thought we needed them most. And we resent the world for it. Maybe somebody took advantage of us when we were children. And now we're angry with the world. And that anger now influences our worldview, our perception. It rules how we interact. And we allow the anger to define our identity. And that's why people, they're just an angry person. This is a bitter person. You ever say that about somebody? It's just angry and bitter. Or have somebody ever say that about you? That you're just an angry, bitter woman, angry, bitter man, angry, bitter person, individual. Yes, that may be so. And you may have had trauma and things that happened to you that caused you discomfort and anger. But it doesn't have to become a part of your identity. You don't have to let the anger and rage consume you to the point that nobody even wants to be around you. Nobody wants to be your friend. Nobody wants to talk to you. Nobody wants to be in your presence because your energy is so toxic that it repels anything good coming your way. That your anger begins to influence and control your choices. Think about it. Have you allowed anger to begin to influence and control your choices, the choices you make, the people you choose to hang with, the people you choose to associate yourself with? Are you trauma bonding? Ooh! Wow. Think about it. Have you allowed your anger and your trauma and your rage to cause you to trauma bond with people, with groups? Think about it. See, a trauma bonded relationship or trauma bonding is when a person forms a deep emotional attachment with someone that causes them harm. It's a repeated cycle of abuse and positive reinforcement. Trauma bonding. Also, we call trauma bonding many times when we hear trauma bonding, we talk about how people, they have similar traumas. And so that they begin to form relationships on their mutual trauma. Oh, this person has been hurt by XYZ. Or they're divorcee, I'm the divorcee. We're going to get together and we're going to hate our exes together. So we have to be careful that we don't allow these things because when we begin to trauma bond, you begin to experience a cycle of love bombing and maltreatment. You begin to feel ashamed and guilty most of the time. You cover up or lie about mistreatment. You say it ain't what it is when it truly is what it is. You become hypervigilant towards threats. Then you become isolated from your friends and family and loved ones. And even deep down inside, to be honest, you don't even like the person, let alone love. You're just trapped in a cycle over and over and over again. So remember, divine principle number 25, I have not been exclusively angry. Meaning I watch my temper. Remember the sacred text that says, and I believe it's, let me see. Just in case somebody may want to reference it. I quote it all the time. It's Proverbs 25 and 28. Proverbs 25 and 28 says, a man, individual, non-gender specific, without self-control. Think about that. Self-control. He that have no rule over his own spirit, meaning if person that don't have self-control, they're not mature. They are like a city without walls that is broken down. They're like a city that's broken down and without walls. Think about that. A person, if you don't have self-control, if you don't know how to rule over your own self, self-mastery, you are like a city broken into and left without walls. A city whose walls are broken and a person who lacks self-control. That is what a person who lacks self-control over his own soul and spirit have not came to the maturity level of self-mastery. If that's you, you are a person without self-control. You are a city without walls. And what is a city without walls? Meaning anybody can come in. You don't have a watchtower for somebody to see when the enemy is coming. You're not able to detect in your inner hardwire, your intuition. You're not tuned in. Your soul is out of alignment. Why? Because you have not worked on self-mastery. You don't have control over yourself. And many people don't have control over themselves. That's why they're excessively angry. That's why they have trauma bonding. This is why anger defines their identity, their choices, and their relationships. Because they have not have self-mastery. So everything ticks them off. Everything vexes them. City without wall, without self-control. Meaning you don't even know how to close your mouth. You don't even know how to shut your mouth when you need to. You let everybody know your secrets. That's why they can manipulate you and control you, because you don't have no self-control. Anybody at the drop of a dime can push your buttons. Why? Because you ain't worked on self-mastery yet. You haven't worked on yourself, integrating those parts of yourself. You be suppressing it instead of acknowledging it. We don't want to acknowledge, I need help. Because it translates in somebody's mind that, oh, something's wrong with me. Especially in our community, the melanated black people. We don't believe in seeking help. We think we got it all together. But I always say every person of color, black person, African descent, African American, whatever you like to choose, call yourself. If they've lived in this country of the USA at any other time, born here, the children of the corn, children of the field, children of those who were enslaved here, honey, you need to be in therapy for the rest of your life. Being black here on American soil, you need to be in therapy for the rest of your life, honey, because you have gone through some things. Greetings, Apostle Essence. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. These are the things that we need to begin to look at as a community. That we stop spiritually bypassing. Oh, now I know that may hit a nerve with somebody. I know that's going to hit a nerve, but that's okay. I'm here to hit your nerve. I'm here to hit your nerve today. We have to stop spiritually bypassing. We try to spiritualize everything. Well, the doctor diagnosed you with a terminal illness. Oh! The Lord has tested me. Why would a loving God, creator, use a terminal illness to test you? When in one verse of sacred text of scripture it says, none of these things will come upon you. Think about it. So why would he take a terminal illness and give it to you just to test you? How cruel of a God is that? These are the things we don't want to acknowledge, we don't want to deal with, because it challenges our teachings. It challenges what we've been taught to believe. See, spiritual bypass or spiritual bypassing is when we tend to use spiritual ideas and practices to sidestep, to get around, to avoid facing unresolved emotional issues and trauma, to avoid those psychological wounds that are within us, so that we don't deal with the unfinished business, the unfinished developmental task, those problems that we have left within us that are unresolved. That is what spiritual bypassing is. And oftentimes, instead of dealing with things as it is head on, that's what we do. We spiritual bypass. We throw some prayer at it, throw some holy oil at it, throw some holy water at it, light a candle at it, but never want to sit down with ourselves and truly deal with the problem at hand. Somebody did something to hurt you, that caused you pain. Somebody scandalized your name, slandered you, assassinated your character. Instead of acknowledging those feelings of hurt, acknowledging how it made you feel, no, we spiritual bypass. Honey, I'm not worried. I'm not going to let that get to me, honey. I'm blessed and highly favored. I ain't worried about what other people say. Honey, they can say what they want to say about me. I don't care what people think. Oh, you don't? You don't care what people think. People who don't care what people think, they walk out the house looking any kind of way. People who don't care what people think get before the camera looking any kind of way. The people that don't really care what people think walk out the house with bonnets on and pajamas and slippers and carrying on. People who don't care what people think just say anything and are reckless with their words in their mouth. So let's stop lying to ourselves and spiritual bypass and just acknowledge that this hurt my feelings. I'm not going to ignore the feeling of anger. I am angry about it because guess what? They hurt me. They attacked my character. They tried to assassinate my character. They tried to use lies to turn people against me. And that was hurtful. That was painful to me. That crushed my soul and my spirit. See, that's when you truly begin to heal and do the work in the process of bringing yourself into wholeness, into soul alignment, into healing, into evolving and maturing. When you can address your feelings, acknowledge them. Just don't brush it off with, colloquialisms and church sayings and lingo. Emotional numbing, we got to stop that. Stop repressing your feelings. Being overemphasizing on positivity. You're not going to be happy all the time. That's just your spiritual awakening and expanding your consciousness and learning all these new things about spirituality and unlearning what you've been taught and learning the truth and all of these things and about affirmations and using your words to bring about the reality that you see, all that thing, all that is good. It's wonderful stuff. But baby, you're not going to be happy all the time. You're not going to feel good all the time. So no need to overemphasize on positivity, because that's a clear sign that you're spiritual bypassing. When you're blind or overly tolerant of mistreatment, you are spiritual bypassing. When you're also loving and also compassionate to the point that you allow yourself to become a doormat, where people can treat you any kind of way, they can talk to you all reckless, honey, you're spiritual bypassing. When we do not, we're so weak and don't want, we're so concerned about being looked at as the bad guy that we refuse to put boundaries in place to protect ourselves. Baby, you spiritual bypassing again. See, a lot of people try to, I over the years, my mother was a sharpshooter, honey. She gonna tell it like it is. You didn't like it, that was your business. She was gonna be sweet and kind, but she was gonna be straight to the point. She didn't play the radio. She didn't play the radio. And many people over the years have said, you just like your mama. Yes, my daddy used to say it all the time. You just like your mama. Yes, and I'm glad about it. And yes, I am just like my mama. I'm going to get you told where you staying at. Like the elders used to say, beat them where they do the act at. I'm going to tell you, you want to public embarrass me, honey? I'm going to embarrass you back publicly. See, we got to unlearn this weak, this indoctrination that we learned. This meek and humble. People love to sing that song, I want to be like Jesus. I want to be like Jesus. How I long to be like him. So meek and lowly, so humble and holy. How I long to be like him. Want to talk like Jesus. Want to walk like Jesus. Want to love like Jesus. Well, honey, do you know that the one you call Jesus was a revolutionary? Turned tables over in the temple, threw people out, told them like it was, called them vipers, snakes. Even called the woman, said, honey, she was less than a dog. Yeah, that's the same one we talking about. The same one, Yeshua, whom you call Jesus. He did spiritual bypass. Even when it came to the biblical narrative, when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane, agonizing over what was going to happen to him, he was going to be a martyr. That's what he was. The church have made him something else, but he was a martyr for his beliefs. He was a martyr for the truth he stood for. But yet, even in that hour of sadness and grief, he owned it. He said, I don't want to do this. Let this cup pass with me. This is painful. This is hurtful. He owned it. So if the one you claim to serve owned it, why can't you own your pain? Own your sadness. Own your anger. Own your feelings and stop trying to sidestep them. I have not been exclusively angry. So let's affirm this together. I am not ruled by anger. I am not ruled by anger. I am not ruled by anger. I am not ruled by rage. I am not ruled by rage. I am not ruled by rage. I allow peace to lead me. I am not ruled by rage. I allow peace to lead me. I am not ruled by rage. I allow peace to lead me. What if we all allowed, instead of rage, but peace to lead us? So when they say I am not ruled by rage, I'm not ruled by anger, I'm not ruled by violence, I'm not ruled by uncontrollable anger, I'm not ruled by fury, I'm not ruled by my temper. But I allow peace to lead me. I allow peace. I allow myself to be led free from disturbance. I allow tranquility to lead me. I live and move in a state in which no war exists. Or I live in a state where war has now ceased to exist. It has ended. And I'm not at war within myself anymore of who I truly am, my identity. But I'm at peace now within myself. See, once you're at peace within yourself, when you've made peace with yourself, with your past, your trauma, peace with anything inside of you, nobody else can make you guilty or feel any type of way. Why? Because you've made peace with yourself. You're now in tranquility and serenity. And anything outside of you can do you no harm. Why? Because you're at peace, at one within. Isn't that powerful? That I'm no longer bound by anger, by rage, but I am at peace within my soul. That you truly can sing the song, "It is well with my soul." A lot of times we sing that song, "It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul." But truly, sometimes it's not well with us. We just sing it. But once you come to terms and have peace within yourself, you reconcile every part of you, every version of you, then you can truly sing, "It is well. It is well in my soul." So let's move to number 26 in the 42 laws of Ma'at. These divine principles, the divine laws, 42 negative confessions, also known as the 42 declarations of innocence. These are affirmations as a mirror for us to show us how to get back in the path to alignment, our soul in alignment. So number 26 said, "I have not cursed the god or goddess." I have not cursed the god or goddess. I have not cursed the god or goddess. See, this is about reverence. This is about honoring the divine presence within you and without you. Can you honor divine presence within and without you? A lot of people say, "Well, I honor the divine presence within me," but can you honor the divine presence in another? Can you honor the divine presence in other people? Are you willing to acknowledge the divine presence in everybody and in everything? That is the question. Do we know how to have reverence for people? See, when you honor the divine presence in others, you respect their opinion. Now, you may not agree, but you know how to respect their opinions. You respect their personhood. You don't just ignore and just blow off people when you know how to honor divine presence, not only in yourself, but in others. You don't just write people off, give them the benefit of the doubt. When you know how to honor the divine within you and in others. You have a level of respect for people when you honor the divine presence in you and in others. So let's affirm this together. I revere the sacred. I honor the source in all things. I revere the sacred, and I honor the source in all things. I regard and revere the sacred. I honor the source in all things. One thing to remember, there's beauty in everything. There's beauty in every person, in every creation, in every animal, in every insect. There's beauty because we were made beautifully, wonderfully made. And we all have our individual purpose in the earth. We all have our individual purpose in the earth. So we are created wonderfully and beautifully. So we have to revere the sacred, not the sacred just in us, but revere the sacred that's in everyone. Because everyone is sacred. Honor the sources in everything. God is within all of us and everything. The divine is in all people. Some people, it may seem a little hard to see it. Got to squinch. But the divine is in everything. So still dealing with the 42 laws of my art. Let's deal with number 27. I have not behaved with violence. I have not behaved with violence. I have not behaved with violence. Think about how people, how many people are just violent. They're violent in the way they talk, and the way they handle other people, the way they deal with people. They're just violent, brash, harsh. But this divine presence, I have not behaved with violence. This speaks to the spirit of war, the spirit of domination, the spirit of harm. I have not behaved with violence. Do we deal with others and people in every situation with a spirit of war? Always at war with somebody. We at war within ourselves, and we on a warpath with everybody. And we make an enemy out of everybody. We want to dominate everybody. We want to control everybody. Think about it. Greetings, let's cook. Good to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful day, dear. Peace, love, and light to you. Thank you for dropping in on us today. Thank you to everybody who's coming in the room, whether on TikTok, YouTube, all of you. Thank you for being here today. Those who will watch the replay, thank you for joining us. This is a sacred and safe space for you to awaken the divine power within you, to expand your consciousness. So think about it. Do we operate in a spirit and a frequency of domination? Some people, they want to dominate everything they get into. Everything they be involved in, they want to dominate it. Get into the sport, they want to dominate it. Get into this craftsmanship, they want to dominate it. Get into this religious setting, they want to dominate it. Get into spirituality, they want to dominate it. Everything they put their hands to, they want to dominate. They just don't want to participate and just be a part or just learn. They want to dominate and control. Do we walk in a frequency of harm that we don't care who we harm? We just do it. Don't care about nobody's feelings. Don't care about nobody's emotions. People that do that have become cold, first to themselves. They have shut themselves off from feeling. They've numbed themselves. They've iced their emotions. And so it's nothing to just cut your throat, to deal with you roughly and harshly. So we have to check our behavior. We have to check the temperature of our frequency and our spirit in all that we say and do. Don't be at war within yourself. Because if you're at war within yourself, you will be at war with everybody else. If you be at war within yourself, you're going to be at war with everybody else in your circle. So let's keep that in mind. So let's affirm this together. I am a vessel of divine calm. I am a vessel of divine calm. And I choose peace over power plays. Let's say that. Let's affirm that together. I am a vessel of divine calm. Nothing can shake me. Nothing can move me. No storm, no bad news. Nothing can shake my standing because I'm a vessel of divine calm. I can walk through any storm because the energy of calmness rules in me. The divine presence of calmness rules in me. So when I walk into the storm, I don't have to speak to the wind and cause it to obey and to cease. No, because my presence, because the divine presence in me of calmness enters the room. Everything got to be subject to calm down, to level out. A lot of people say, well, I rebuke the devil, I rebuke this. Honey, you don't even rebuke nothing but yourself. Because your very presence should be a rebuke to your adversaries. So I am a divine vessel. I am a vessel of divine calm. And I choose peace over power plays. Choose peace today. Don't choose war. Don't choose confusion. Don't choose hatred. Don't choose spiritual bypassing or anything else. Avoidance. Don't choose to be, trying to get back at people. You kill my dog, I kill your cat. You did me wrong, so I'm trying to dig up dirt and do you wrong. In this season, we are evolving. We are moving into our authenticity. 555, the 5th month, the 5th day of 2025, we are moving into divine alignment, into soul alignment. We are moving into our highest ideals. We are moving into our highest self. We are moving out of the shadows. We are moving into the forefront. So let's look at 28, dealing with the person who lost my eye. I have not caused disruption of peace. Let that sink in. I have not caused Disruption of peace. So think about this. Do you stir up chaos everywhere you go? Or do you stir up calmness when you enter a room? Do you stir up confusion and hatred and envy and jealousy and just a whole combustion of problems when you enter a room? Or does your presence when you enter a room bring about serenity, tranquility, love, safety when you enter the room? Ask yourself that question. Because remember, these 42 laws of Ma'at, they are a mirror, not about perfection, about soul alignment. So look at it, hear it, and see where you need to bring yourself in alignment. Do you stir up confusion, hate, envy, jealousy? Or do you bring about calm, tranquility, peace, serenity, love, joy, happiness when you enter a room? What energy do you bring in the room when you come in? Think about that. What energy do I bring in the room when I come? See, look at yourself. They used to sing a song in church, it's me, oh Lord. Stand in need of prayer, not my mother, not my father, not my sister, it's me, oh Lord. So I'm saying to you today, it's you. It's me. We're not pointing the finger at anyone else. Because remember, when you point one finger, look how many is coming back at you. So we're not pointing the finger at anyone else. We're pointing the finger at us, ourselves. Asking ourselves the question, what energy do I walk in? What energy and presence do I bring wherever I go? So let's affirm this with me. I am a peacemaker. Come on, say that with me. I am a peace breaker. My presence brings harmony. I am a peacemaker, not breaker. I'm a peacemaker. And my presence brings harmony to all I come in contact with. Every room I enter, I'm a peacemaker. And my presence brings harmony. It brings love. It brings joy. It brings peace, tranquility, happiness. Let that be your motto. Affirm that every day, that I'm a peacemaker, not a peace breaker. I don't go around trying to break people's hearts. I don't go around trying to start confusion and envy and strife and hatred. I don't go around trying to break the peace, but I go around trying to make the peace, be a peacemaker. This is what Yeshua meant when it calls it the Beatitudes. Blessed are they who are peacemakers. Blessed are the peacemakers. Are we peacemakers or peace breakers? Sometimes people don't even want us around because we stir up too much confusion. You know it's bad when just the mention of your name stirs up stuff. And I ain't talking about good stuff. It stirs up resentment, anger. They don't even want you being invited to the table in the room because you have a lot of chaos inside you and it exudes and the energy reeks out to others. Because remember, your energy, energy don't lie, it can be felt. It's the same thing as in the church say, people say, oh, I picked you up in the spirit. All that means I felt your energy. That's all. Same thing. calling it different things, but it's the same thing, same principle. Your energy can be felt. Whether you like somebody, you don't like them, whether you're doing good or you're not doing good, whether you're struggling, whether you're doing well, however, your energy, people can feel it. And when it changes, people notice it. So don't try to fool people talking about, oh no, you're not wrong. You're insulting people's intelligence when you know something is wrong. They know something is wrong, but you pretend and act like everything is okay. So let's learn to be real with ourselves, everybody. Family, let's be real with ourselves. Make sure that we are bringing peace and not confusion in every room we go in. So let's deal with the next principle. 29. I have not acted hastily or without thought. Now, this is a powerful one. This is one that we all can practice and do better in. I have not acted hastily or without thought. This principle is about spiritual maturity. Learning how to think, to feel, then act. Let me say it again. It's about spiritual maturity, self-control, self-mastery, learning how to think, then feel, then act. Think, then feel, then act. Think, then feel, then act. How many times we just flew off the handle? We make rash and brash decisions hastily. We didn't think it through. Before you make decisions, you should never make big decisions on a whim. And you should never make big decisions over a meal. Start eating and feeling good, laughing and talking, and after you be done made a deal with the quote unquote devil. Think on it. Don't make a decision rashly. See, people try to push you into making a decision, a rash decision that will say, well, if you don't, somebody else may come. Well, somebody, then it ain't for me. If it's for me, it's going to be there, honey. I'm not going to let you push me into something. A lot of times we allow people to push us into something we're not ready for, and then we have to deal with the consequences of it, not them. So don't make hasty decisions. Don't be rash and in a hurry to do stuff. Because a lot of times the decision that we take can be irreversible. And many times what we fail to realize is that the decisions and choices that I make today impact my tomorrow. The choices that we make, I make, you make today impacts your tomorrow. It affects your future. So make sure you're not in a hurry. You take your time and think about it. You think about all possible angles of the outcomes before you make a decision. Think it out. Think it through. So you can, the saying goes, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I'm going to say it again. When you fail to have a plan, you plan for failure. Fail to plan, or fail to plan is a plan to fail. A lot of times we fail at whatever we're trying to do because we don't plan. We don't think it through. Let me just use this example. Talk about you gonna, oh honey, I'm leaving that man. I'm leaving that woman. I'm leaving my partner, my spouse, or whatever. I ain't gonna be dealing with this. But have you thought about what the elders used to say? The devil you know is better than the devil you don't. That may not apply to you, but have you thought about it? Have you thought about your exit plan? Have you thought about what you're going to do? Do you got a plan before you decide to just uproot? Another thought. Say, oh, I want to move out of this city. I'm tired of this place. Honey, it's too small for me. I want to go somewhere else. I want to go to the big city. That, blah, 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 blah. That's good. It's good to travel. It's good to go somewhere. But have you thought about a plan? Have you thought it through? Because, honey, I can tell you the variables when you don't plan and you talk about moving out of the city, out of where you from, or moving out of your situation. Do you got a job lined up? Do you have some savings to pad you and help you if it takes a minute before you to find a job? Have you secured a place to stay? Do you know what you're going to do? I ain't talking about trying to go stay with family because, honey, something that ain't going to work. Or what if you go to stay with family? What if that ends up not working out? What's going to happen? What's going to be your next move? Do you have an alternative? Planning. Not making rash decisions. Uprooting. Going, honey, I wish I had followed that. See, I'm telling you from things experience. Now, mind you, my father taught me that from childhood. But did I always, because I had wise parents, but did I always follow the wisdom that they gave me? No, I wouldn't even sit here and lie to you. I won't even do that. I won't lie to myself, honey, let alone to anybody else. I didn't always follow the wisdom that my parents gave me, but I knew it. And a lot of times we allow people to push us into things that we are not ready to handle. We allow people to push us into leadership. We allow people to push us into marriage. I know, honey, I can talk about being pushed into marriage. Allowing society, religion, all these kind of other things push you into doing something that, honey, you're not equipped or prepared to do. So we got to sometimes rethink things before we make a regrettable decision that we live the regret. You ever heard our elders used to say, you're going to live the regret that. And when you're young, honey, you think you know it and you're going to do it anyway, honey. That's why our elders say, honey, I was young too. I was just like you. And I done been through a thing or two, and I can tell you. See, we have to learn from other people's mistakes and stop trying to reinvent the wheel all the time. You don't need to go put your hand on the stove and get burned to know that it's hot. Somebody else told you it was hot, or you saw somebody else burn your hand. Why do you need to put your hand on it? Yes, some people are just like, they just got to do it. They can't learn from other people's mistakes. They got to make their own. So be it. But the wise person learns to learn from other people's mistakes and avoid them. Because when you do that, you're able to be 10 steps ahead. You can avert things that you would have gotten into if we learn to listen to wisdom. That's why the verse of scripture that I love to lean into the metaphysical meaning, where it says, in a multitude of counsel there is safety. That's Proverbs 11 and 14. In the multitude of counsel there is safety. When one verse says, where no counsel is, the people fall. See, when you don't have nobody to advise you or guide you, to give you sound wisdom, you fall into all kind of things. But when you have wisdom on your side, when you have counsel from wise women and men and people who can help guide you and tell you the things that you need to know to make informed decisions, calculated decisions, that's what it means. But in a multitude of counsel, there is safety. So make sure you surround yourself with people who got wisdom. Greetings, Miss Kia. So good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Drop it in on us today. It's important to surround yourself with people who are wise, who are intelligent, who have wisdom, who know more than you. Stop surrounding yourself with just your peers, people who don't know no more than you. You act to somebody who don't know no more than you. Because some people put on airs and act like they know more than you. Don't mean they do. So it's important that we be careful and surround ourselves with people who actually have wisdom and knowledge that can pour into us so that we can have being better informed and to make better decisions for ourselves. So remember, I have not acted hastily or without thought. This is about spiritual maturity, to think, feel, and then act. Not backwards. Some of us, we act, then we feel, then we think about it. We act now and ask questions later. That was a phrase my father said he learned in the military. Act now, ask questions later. But honey, as a spiritual awakened being, as a divine being, as an evolving person, you need to learn to think first, feel second, and then act before you get yourself in something you can't get out of. So let's affirm this together. I move in wisdom. I act from a place of divine guidance. Come on. I move in wisdom. I move in wisdom. I move in wisdom. I act from a place of divine guidance. I move in wisdom and I act from a place of divine guidance. Amen and Ashe. All right, we got two more we're going to deal with today. And tomorrow I think we'll be able to bring it to a climax, to close for this series of the 42 Laws of Mind. So, 31, the 31st divine principle in the 42 declarations of innocence. I have not exaggerated my words when speaking. I have not exaggerated my words when speaking. Think about it. I have not exaggerated my words when speaking. How many people do you know are big exaggerators, honey? They exaggerate about everything. How much their house costs, how much their car costs, how much their education costs. Everything is an exaggeration. Who they know. I remember when I was in private school, it was this teacher, honey. Everything, honey, she had something to say about everything. No matter what the topic was, she had something to say. Oh, she knew this person, or she knew that person, or once upon a time, and honey, one time she said she knew this baseball player, honey. Everybody looked around and said, honey, girl, you don't know that. We knew she didn't know. You don't know these people. But people like to put on airs as if they are more than what they are, instead of being true to themselves. So I have not exaggerated my words when speaking. This is about being trustworthy. Are you trustworthy? Can people take your word for face value? Oftentimes, in the day we live in, you cannot take people's word for face value. No, because people say opposite of what they mean. They mean one thing, but they say another. Their heart says one thing, their mind says one thing, but their mouth says another. It betrays them. So, are we trustworthy? This is what this principle is about: being trustworthy. Don't inflate for the applause. We have to be careful about that. Don't inflate for the applause or try to use our words to distort the truth, exaggerate things, to manipulate through dramatics. A lot of people try to manipulate people through dramatics, and they try to make them think they're more grander than what they are. But honey, don't you know people gonna find out the truth anyway? So you might as well be true to you. It's exhausting pretending. It's very exhausting. Just be you. Everybody else is taken. Be authentically yourself. There's no harm in that. Nobody can be you like you can be you. So be trustworthy. As my father used to always say, let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. That's old English for let your yes be yes, let your no be no. Don't be wishy-washy. Don't be sometimey. Be consistent. Bring yourself into alignment that your mind, your heart, your body, and your words are one. That you don't say one thing, but you truly mean another. Trying to mislead and deceive people. There was a song that says, brothers are going to work it out. It's an old R&B song. It said, don't give the brother the peace sign if you truly don't mean it from your heart. Don't say you love a person or you're in agreement with somebody or with something or you support something or someone or whatever case is. But truly in your heart, you are completely against it. But for clout, but for the applause, whatever to inflate it, we go along with things. But at the end, how is our soul suffering? Because we've exaggerated our words when we spoke. Saying that you can do this and that, then when you are tasked to come up and do that, you don't know how to do it or what to do. You asking questions when you should be leading it. Because guess what? You said you knew how to do X, Y, Z. Well, honey, if you know how to do it, then do it then. So these are the things we have to address within our own self. So affirm with me, my words are grounded in truth. Come on, say that together. My words are grounded in truth, and I speak only what is needed. My words are grounded in truth is needed. I'm going to say that again. My words are grounded in truth, and I only speak what is needed. Wow. My nana used to have a saying. Sometimes I would ask her certain questions or whatever have you. And you know what she would say? Honey, I'm tired of fighting this thing. You know what my nana would say? She would say, when I asked her, or she asked me about any particular thing, you know how some people say you go around John Bond? She said, I didn't ask you that. I asked you a specific question. She said, you have to learn not to volunteer information. Don't speak about more than what you're asked. Answer the question as given. This is her exact words to me. Answer the question as given. I asked you how you're feeling today. I didn't ask you all of this other stuff. Answer the question as given. So we have to learn to do that. Sometimes we volunteer information that hadn't been asked and not is needed, and it will get us in trouble. It will cause us to miss out on blessings because we volunteer information that wasn't asked. So we have to learn to answer questions as given. That's a wise proverb and principle for us all to use. So make sure your words are grounded in truth. Don't be speaking falsehood. Don't be exaggerating when you're speaking. Only speak what is needed. Only speak what is needed. And our last principle for today, number 32. We have 42 laws, 42 negative confessions, 42 declarations of innocence, and this is number 32. I have not worked evil. I have not worked evil. I have not worked evil. How many people can declare that I have not worked evil? I have not done evil to anyone. See, evil in this setting, evil in this context, that's the word I was looking for. Evil in this context means being out of alignment with divine order. Being out of a divine alignment, divine order. Being out of alignment with divine order. That is what evil means in this context. So are your actions for good or for gain? Think about that. In everything you do, are your actions for good or for gain? That is the question. Why do you do what you do? What drives you to do what you do? What is your motive and your motivation for doing what you do? Because a lot of times people do the right thing, but for the wrong motives, the wrong reason. A lot of people are trying to get over on somebody. They're trying to manipulate somebody. They're trying to use different tactics to bring them on their side to do whatever. So they're nice, they're sweet, they're heavy on the accolades and congratulations and all the niceties. All because, honey, they got an ulterior motive, honey, that's not aligned with yours. See, everybody got a motive, but is their motive in alignment with yours is the question. A lot of people say, oh, people got motive. Everybody got motives, honey. Motivation that moves them and drives them to do what they do. The question is it for good or for gain? That's what become evil. Are you doing it the right thing for the right reason? Or are you doing the right thing for the wrong reason? Is it to satisfy your misery? Because they say misery love company. Or is it to bring about harmony and peace to all connected, all involved? So let's affirm this together. I create in love. I build what reflects the divine. Come on. I create in love. I build what reflects the divine. I create in love. I build what reflects the divine. So I create. Everything I do, it comes from a place of love. Everything I say, everything I do, the energy that I walk in and I talk in, it comes from a place of love. And everything that I do, my building blocks are all to reflect the divine. The divine in me, the divine in you. So I want you to let these laws wash over your spirit, over your consciousness. Allow these laws, the 42 laws of Ma'at, 42 negative confessions, 42 declarations of innocence, to wash over you like spring water, returning to its source. Because remember, this is not about perfection. Ma'at is not about perfection. These divine principles, these precepts, it's not about perfection. This all is about alignment, bringing your soul into divine alignment, into a divine order. This is about remembering who you are at your core and learning how to walk in that remembrance out loud. This is about remembering who you truly, authentically are and walking out that remembrance out loud, unapologetically, standing tall. This is what it's about. It's not about religious programming. It's about coming into your knowing, undoing the lies, and coming into the truth of who you are. If you enjoyed this live broadcast today and you want to support us, we encourage you, give a financial contribution to help us support this, our sacred work, and to expand our platform. Do that for us today. Always remember, every day we come on live at 12 noon. Sometimes a little bit before, sometimes a little late. But 12 noon is our time. We come on and we have our live session. I am yours truly, Chief Apostle Veronica Yisrael, Chief High Priestess, Global Spiritual Leader, Teacher, Guide, and founder of the Soul Awakening Sanctuary Movement. This is not just a conversation, it's a movement. We are here shining the light, showing the way that you can leave colonialism. You can walk away from organized religion and come into your divine power. Come back to your roots. Come back into spirituality. You can expand your consciousness. And you can awaken the God within you, the divine within you that's been there all along. You can uncover who you truly are at your core and your essence. You can leave indoctrination, doctrine, and dogma alone. You can deconstruct from harmful theology, religion, and indoctrination, and you can rebuild your faith, your life, your whole outview on life, your worldview of who you are, but you can do it from the inside. And that's what we're here for. That's what we're about. And so if you have been looking for a spiritual home, a place you can call home, a community, a spiritual leader, teacher, a community where you can experience expanded consciousness, I invite you to join our community. Reach out to us and we'll tell you what you need to do in order to join this growing spiritual community where we can all gather together and experience spirituality in a new way. And if you would like to give a financial contribution to this platform, no gift is too small or too great. We appreciate everything you do. And you can give that to Cash App. That's $ capital VSY, lowercase ISRAEL 2021. Again, Cash App, $ capital VSY, lowercase ISRAEL 2021. It's in my bio and also on the flyers that are on my page. You can give to this platform and help us further our mission, get the things that we need to do to continue to grow this platform and to bring a more polished and effective message to you and to all, reaching to the ends of the earth, letting people know that there is life in spiritual liberation, in Christ consciousness, in African spirituality, in our Black spirituality, in us as a people. Help us do that. Reach our goals. We thank you so very much. And remember, if you're just tuning in and you missed the live, because we've been on here since 12:05, and it's now 2:21. And so we've been on here a while. So if you missed the majority of it or the beginning, always know that you can go over to YouTube where you can find this same teaching verbatim, because we broadcast live simultaneously on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. And so though once we end the TikTok live, it's no more, but when you go to YouTube, you can find it and you can enjoy it there because this mic is connected to YouTube, so maybe it'll sound even better. So go over there, follow us on all platforms at Chief Apostle Veronica Israel, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We are on all of those devices and all platforms, rather, social media. So follow us. And also, if you'd like to reach out to us, you can email us, inbox us on all of the apps. But also, you can email us at Chief Apostle Veronica S. Israel at gmail.com. Again, Chief Apostle Veronica S. Israel at Gmail, rather. Ooh, wait a minute. Chief Apostle Veronica S. Israel at gmail.com, not just .com, at gmail.com. We love you all. And as we prepare to close our session for today, let me give you this affirmation. I want you to repeat aloud with me. I walk in my art. I live in truth. I choose justice. I return to balance. I honor my ancestors. I speak with purpose. I live in power. I remember who I am, and I rise in divine order. Let's say that. I'm going to give that to you again. Let's say that again. I walk in my art. I live in truth. I choose justice. I return to balance. I honor my ancestors. I speak with purpose. I live in power. I remember who I am. And I rise in divine order. Amen and Ashe. Until next time, always know that you are powerful. You are creative. You are the epitome of the divine consciousness that created the universe. You are God in flesh having a human experience. And never let anyone, any ideology, any philosophy, any indoctrination, doctrine, or dogma, or anyone's negative opinion tell you differently. That you, if it is true that we are created in the image of the Creator, then that means that you are a co-creator with the divine. You are a creator. And remember that you are great. Greatness is on the inside of you. You're going to do great things in the earth because you're destined for greatness. Why? Because everything that God is, you are. And it's within you. That the divine is within you, and you are the temple for the source of all that is. And we are interconnected to all things. Always remember that the presence of God in me loves the presence of the divine and God in you. That I love you all, and we are here. If you'd like to book a one-on-one session, spiritual consultation, or any of those, find out any of the services that we offer, coaching, spiritual coaching, or whatever have you, you can reach out to us, and we'll be glad to assist you in helping you book your session with us and we love to help you on your spiritual journey to awakening and evolving into that great person, to your highest ideal and to your highest self. Till next time, peace be with you. Love you all. Thank you for joining us.